Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is urgent that we adopt a modern data privacy law to protect the personal information of all Americans. And I truly appreciate the work of Chair Rogers and Ranking Member Pallone and my good friend Chair Bilrakis and Ranking Member Schakowsky. It's been music to my ears that you're saying this morning that this discussion draft will be strengthened from this point forward, because big tech platforms track everything we do, everywhere we go, everything we buy online. They use that information to manipulate us, to exploit us. And this manipulation is particularly harmful to children and adolescents. The American Academy of Pediatrics says on data collection from children and teens on a vast scale allows companies to monitor, track, and target young people with advertisements and content that exploit their developmental vulnerabilities for commercial gain. Research indicates that the use of data to target children and adolescents with highly personalized behavioral advertising and user experiences is not developmentally appropriate because they have not yet developed mature critical thinking skills or impulse inhibition. Kids are very lucrative to these big tech platforms. They're ripe targets for a wide range of online actors, from child sexual abuse, cyber bullies, drug dealers, and scam artists. And parents and kids need help. They need this Congress to finally pass a modern privacy law and to update the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which hasn't been changed for 25 years. Big tech platforms use every method possible to keep kids online and addicted so that they can pocket huge profits. And the mental health repercussions for our kids are staggering. The mental health, the American Psychological Association has issued a mental health advisory, similar to what the U.S. Surgeon General has done. Almost half of the teens in the U.S. have experienced bullying or harassment online. Between 2010 and 2019, teen depression rates doubled, with teenage girls seeing the sharpest increase. In 2021, almost a third of girls said that they are seriously considering attempting suicide. And this committee has heard directly from whistleblowers, including the Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen and others, that the platforms know this. They know that their platforms are causing harm, but the kids are just too lucrative for them to change how they do business. So it's long past time for Congress to step in. I know many of you have probably tuned into Jonathan Haidt and his new book, The Anxious Generation, How the Great Rewiring of Childhood is Causing an Epidemic of Mental Illness. I think one of the reasons what he is saying is so resonant with parents like me and many across the country, and I hear it in Chair Rogers, what she says, because we've watched this. We've watched the changes over time. We saw the rise of social media and these platforms and how they skirt the law. That's why I am so very disappointed with how ineffective and weak the APRA discussion draft is when it comes to kids. I echo the concerns of my good friend, Mr. Wahlberg, who has worked for many years on this. For many years, I've introduced the Kids Privacy Act. We have a bipartisan bill, COPPA 2.0, that has a stakeholders, parents, advocates endorsement across the spectrum. One of the pathways forward is to bring up COPPA 2.0 and pass it. The other way forward is to incorporate it into APRA. The discussion draft completely fails to include important protections. It removes the COPPA 2.0's knowledge standard entirely, and it would now only apply to websites and apps that are directed to children, excluding those platforms that platforms that know a user is a minor. APRA includes a weak definition of targeted advertising that would allow many websites and apps to continue serving targeted ads to children and teens. These issues are critical to modernizing current law to reflect the tech-driven world that we live in. So, Chair Rogers, I hear your offer, and Mr. Bilrakis, I hear your offer to continue to work on this. I trust you. We are going to move forward, but as this bill stands now, it really fails kids and teens and families. We have our work cut out for us. I yield back.